Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be building a fun list, and it's definitely one that I can resonate with because I'm from Orlando, and so it's a big rhyming list. It's Lando's Mandos, a list brought to you straight from Orlando. It's gonna be a fun list for Star Wars Legion, and while it is designed to be fun, I think it also can work. It has some cool things that kind of give it some ways to actually be functional as well as just be a fun little naming thing. I'm going to talk about this list. I'm going to be using Tabletop Admiral. I'll put a link in the video description down below so you can head over to Tabletop Admiral and check it out. And with all that being said, I'm just going to jump right into it. We'll start with Lando Calrissian. He is going to come in as my commander. He works on a number of reasons, not just because he rhymes with Mandos. Obviously, I want to do a pure Mandalorian list, and I definitely hope they give us a Mandalorian battle force someday, because that would be awesome. But in the meantime, there's only so many things that you can do. You can run Shadow Collective, or Rebels are also a good option. Rebels are a good option because you do have a number of different Mandalorian operatives right now. You've got Sabine Wren, you've got Din Djarin, you've even got Boba Fett, and whether or not you feel he's truly a true Mandalorian or not, you've got them. Plus, you've got the Mandalorian, the Mandalorian Resistance. So there's a lot of different things that we can do with them, but you don't have a commander. And what Lando really brings to this list is the contingencies. He gives them the ability to, he basically have a better selection of cards for more situations. And I think that that's pretty cool. And work even better if we got Mandalorian commanders at some point, or like Sabine Wren commander or something like that. Or maybe Bo-Katan, who would make an awesome commander. And that really should happen. She should work for Rebels, and then we can make this all work. It would really, it writes itself. It's so good. All right, so we're going to add Lando Calrissian to the list, and that's how we're going to start out. We do have some choices. We can only run 2 operatives currently. So I'm going to go with the true Mandalorians, Sabine Wren and Din Djarin. Boba Fett would work really, really well in this list, and you could certainly make some adjustments if you want to. Because of the 6 command cards and contingencies, you can do more with that. But we still are going to have lots of command. We've already got plenty of command cards here, so we can make all of this work. So that's cool. So for Sabine Wren, I wanted to give her the Darksaber. I don't always run the Darksaber with her. The big reason for Sabine not running the Darksaber is, well, it's 15 points, and she's not always getting into melee. But Din Djarin's here, and I wanted to have the Darksaber in the build. I just think it's cool, and so I like it. It almost feels like she's standing in for Bo-Katan in this particular set. So that's a fun one. I'm going to give her up close and personal. Of course, we're going to see a lot of up close and personal in this list. What that's doing is giving you dodge tokens after you perform a ranged attack, and she's got Gunslinger, so she's going to get 2 with that. It's really, really nice. So I'm going to give her that. I do sometimes wish I could take a situational awareness also, but she can't take double training. But Din Djarin actually can, so he's going to get situational awareness and up close and personal. Now, Sabine is also going to get the combat shield and the Darksaber, which I didn't actually put on her before. If I had the points, I would also give her the grappling gun. You could either swap this between the grappling gun and the personal combat shield. You could do both, or one or the other if you want to drop some things. If you drop the Darksaber, you got lots of extra points, so you can play around. Like if this is a list you kind of like the thematics for this list, you can totally play around with it and do more. So that's an idea. Din Djarin is also going to have the Amban rifle. I had some tough choices to make here. I like both the spear and the Amban rifle. The spear is just a better melee. He does want to get, close, but he's also got versatile on the pistol, right? But the Amban rifle makes up for one of the weaknesses in the list, and it also gives you immobilize, whereas Sabine has the shield instead. But But this gives you that super long range sniper option. And since I'm kind of close range on a lot of these attacks, I kind of liked that. So we're going to do that. Now, of course, if we're doing that Amban rifle shot, that means Din Djarin is not moving very much. And if he's not moving very much, then that can be problematic. But that's okay. We're going to make up for that. We're going to make up for that. It's going to work out well. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. We've got to add some more Mandalorians. So I am going to add Clan Ren to this one. There we go. Now we could do normal Mandalorian resistance, or we could do Clan Ren, or we could do both. And if you would like to go real heavy in the Mandos, you can add, you can max out 3 special forces. I'm just going with Clan Ren here. I'm just going with the named Mandos: Sabine, Din Djarin, Ursa Ren, and Tristan Ren, and one nameless Mandalorian resistance who happens to be in there also. We're going to give them the jetpack rockets. I do like the jetpack rockets. I like the frag grenades on them. We're trying to get close with these folks. So that is definitely going to work. We've already got Ursa Ren and Tristan Ren, which is just, they're a really cool unit. I'm going to give them situational awareness. It's going to work well with their nimble. And that's about it for the Mandalorian resistance for what I'm putting on them. And you can outfit them more if you free up points elsewhere. I will point out that with Din Djarin, I am not adding Grogu. I think Grogu's more of a liability. I don't like having Grogu in the list. He kind of could work though. He definitely kind of could. I feel like Grogu is better with IG-11, who is with Nanny Protocol. I feel like it just works a lot better on him. Don't like it on Din Djarin. I don't like the idea of my opponent capturing him. So I'm not bringing him in this list. Plus, he's also he's not cheap at 17 extra points for a card that's probably going to give your opponent the game. So don't like that. I'm running just Din by himself. He's being a responsible parent because he's not bringing a baby into war. He's leaving the baby at home and then going off to war. Hopefully with like IG-11 or like a responsible onlooker or caregiver. So he's being a little more responsible. We do have to add our core options. So let me go down to core. We don't have any good super thematic core that works super well for this, but it's okay. I'm going to go with Rebel Veterans. Rebel Veterans work pretty well. We're going to do the CMO 93 Trooper. They are, this is just it's just an all-around good unit. They've got Surge to hit, Surge for defense. They roll black dice for hit. CMO 93 has 4 white dice and critical 2. They have defend 1 also. That's good. We're going to add the comms technician, which is going to give us comms, and then we're going to add HQ uplink. This basically allows me to then add the Mark II blaster as a second core for only 38 points. But then I can HQ uplink, issue these guys an order, send it over to the Mark II medium blaster. They get an order. They also have fire support, which is pretty cool. It's 4 black dice fire support. That attack has critical 2 built into it. It just works on a whole number of levels. It's very, very cool. Just a good option to have. So yeah, that takes care of 2 of our core options. I'm going to put fleet troopers in here, and the fleet troopers are just going to have the scattergun trooper. Not a whole lot of extra stuff into the fleet troopers, and that's going to leave us with room for a speeder truck. This is the fun part. This is where we get to do a little bit of fun stuff. We're not doing too much. I mean, you can do a lot with a speeder truck, but there's a couple of reasons that I like the speeder truck. First off, it's a delivery mechanism for my fleet troopers. It gets the fleet troopers right up into the battlefield. That's awesome. I also have the option of using it to get Din Djarin into the battlefield, because Din, I didn't give him his backpack. He's just going to be speed 2, doesn't have jump. He's probably only moving speed 1 if he's taken like an early shot on that Amban rifle. So it allows him to make up for his early lack of movement by getting him to potentially get into the middle of the battlefield. So I have options there, and I feel like it works. It complements this list pretty well. I'm going to do something else too. I'm going to put the Backworld Medic here. Look, Mandalorians are hard to kill. That is a fact. They have red defense dice, surge for defense, impervious, cool things. But when they do get wounded, we need a medic to be able to get those wounds off. Backworld medic is going to be there. It's going to make those Mandalorians even harder to kill, which I love. And that's another reason I don't want Grogu. I don't want the chance of being able to heal. I want a guaranteed heal. And that's what you can get with this Backworld medic. Cool card. We were also going to give the quad laser. It's a good attack. It's got impact 2. We could even do trigger fire support off of it. There's a lot of cool things we could do with that. Again, the AA5 speeder does not have a surge to hit or anything like that. No offensive surge. So we could get like critical 2 in there. We'd have 2 surges on it, which would be kind of cool. So there's definitely some options there. And I'm going with the unstable Astromech, where we can get an extra free attack. I love that he's 6 points for a whole extra attack. He's awesome. Again, there's more we could do. There's more I would love to be able to do with the AA5, but it's a fun unit to bring. And if you notice, I don't have any upgrades on Lando. Right, so that's kind of the heart of the list. It's only 8 activations. We got some powerful activations in there. So it should be a super fun list. Now, for commands, we are starting out with I've altered the deal. So yeah, it's this one is this is it's a strange weakness. There's going to be the chance that you can't use Lando's cards, which is not a problem. I put all of his into contingencies, just because, hey, if I lose Lando, they're gone. If he plays this card, it cuts that effect in half. Lando's cards always go into contingencies when I play Lando. Almost. If I had the option to add a third operative, if I had Boba in here, I probably wouldn't run Lando's cards at all into contingencies, and I'd have other cards in contingencies. But in this case, I have enough to be able to run all of Sabine's and then almost all of Din's. I'm not using the hand thing. For one, I don't have Grogu in here, but even if I did, this would make it a little harder to work with contingencies, because I have to still play the card and then I can swap, right? So, but this one can't be selected. So this one is it's taking up that spot, and it kind of runs counter to what Lando brings. So we bring everything else. So obviously the power cards here, and if you were bringing Boba Fett, the priority would go to cards like Explosions, which is I think Sabine's best card, and then Din Djarin, I think the priority would be Whistling Birds. It's probably his best card in my opinion, because that's just doing direct damage. Like that just does damage. Somebody can't even roll to hit, blocking against it. It's just damage, which is really cool. It can get a lot of damage done too, which is super fun. But we're going to run everything. We're also going to run Symbol of Rebellion for Sabine. This one can be really helpful if we're going to have some suppression. Mandalorians will get shot a lot, will not take as much damage, but will have suppression for all of those things. So her little graffiti token can be helpful with that. Plus, if the AA5 heals you and you take some suppression as a result, this will help with that. Legacy of Mandalore also will help with that. Inspire 1 and issuing orders. She can gain a name or a dodge token. So it's a solid card. It's not game changing, but it's good. Din's 1-pip. This is the way. This is not a bad card. You get a dodge token and Relentless. Okay, not great, but it works. And again, so these are options where you could swap in. Hey, I'll play Idiot's Array instead. I've got a 1-pip, that I don't really need right now. You have all those kind of options. I like those odds. Isn't bad. It's given Din an aim token, and then he can attack twice. It's good if he happens to be close range. If he's not, then maybe you play Ace Up His Sleeve or Symbol of Rebellion, right? You got all kinds of cool options with that. But that's our option. And then Whistling Birds, great card. Probably use this card. If I have to run all in, I probably run that in place of Legacy of Mandalore, because I probably want to actually save Whistling Birds until Din is in the place to actually use that. And those are our 2 1s, our 2 2s, and our 2 3s, and then our contingencies. it all works out really well. We get a lot of command card capability, usage, and since so many of these command cards are position sensitive and like they're very they depend on if everything kind of falls into place, having contingencies really works out well for Mandalorians, like in this build. So I think it'll be a fun build to run. I do still wish we had a Mandalorian battle force, but until that time comes, this is a super cool list to run. I want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Folks, you see me use these tokens. They are amazing. I use them in my games. You should definitely check them out. Double-sided, full metal tokens. They're absolutely gorgeous. You're going to love these tokens. Head over to luxuryplaystyle.com. Use code Crabbok VIP while you're there. You're going to save 15% off your order. Orders that use that code and spend $35 or more while supplies last will get a free Crabbok token with the lightsaber nunchucks on there. It's great for marking your commander or high damage amounts. It's got a 5 on the back. Again, double-sided, like all of these tokens. Definitely head over to luxuryplaystyle.com and check them out. Don't forget to use that code. All right, folks, that is about it for this video. I don't have battle plans sorted out yet, but basically, stuff that's going to allow you to be closer together. Is definitely going to be a fun one for this. Getting up close and personal with folks is what this list is kind of all about. Lando can sort of stay in the back, and your Rebel veterans can kind of stay a little bit in the back, but everybody else wants to be moving quickly, getting into the action. And I think you want to capitalize on your movement. The Mandalorians have great movement, and so if you can get objectives that have you picking up something and running away with it, that'd be a very cool and fun thing. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I will talk to you all later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. The spice must flow. So say we all, and always wash your socks.